Welcome to Never Mind the Rumour Mill, the hottest gossip and semi-confirmed news, insights and opinions podcast show all about crypto, every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I'm Ben.
And I'm Anastasia.
And whatever brings you here, my friend, remember, this is infotainment,
not financial advice.
So I think that was the one. There we go. Coming up in the next 10-ish minutes, we've got Zuckerbuck NFTs, XRP A to Bs, BTC Dream Properties, market education with Ed. Oh my gosh, a decentralized GitHub is born. New laws to read your messages, all of them, and more. But first, Anastasia's Big Blocks. Do you like the new title, Anastasia? It's catchy, isn't it? well, I mean, you know, it's staying for now. So, what have you got for us? What's the catch up?
Well, I've got to assume most folks that are watching us today want to hear about the situation on the market, so I'll keep it very short and sweet, like me. Yeah. Very selfish story. So what we have, NFTs and Instagram. I told you about the last episode. The Mark Zuckerbuck Corporation will begin testing digital collectibles on Instagram starting this week. Meta added that they will work on 3D NFT.
Ooh, 3D augmented reality stuff. Ooh, that's pretty cool, to be honest.
Japanese e-commerce site SBI Motor Japan has begun accepting payments into cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin and XRP. It's the first cross-border e-commerce site in Japan to support XRP.
The first thing in a long while to support XRP as far as I know. But that's slanderous, sorry.
Yeah. Going back to the house in Portugal, which has been sold for 3 Bitcoins, now the US. Very recently, for the first time in the history of Louisville, the largest city in the US state of Kentucky, a property was sold for $65,000 in Bitcoin.
Nice. That would have been only one a while back, but now it's 2. I suppose 2 and a bit, maybe. So, yeah, still bargain.
At the beginning of the week, the International Monetary Fund recognized that the Bahamas state-owned stablecoin does have a great potential to expand the population's access to financial services.
Let's see how up-to-date they are with the UST situation.
Yeah, a little bit. And while the stock market is falling, Bitcoin is falling, digital assets are falling, El Salvador continues to methodically buy digital gold. Last night, it's Bromanda General. That's how you call him.
Bromanda General.
Yeah, announced that the government was buying an additional 500 Bitcoins.
I saw that he was also bragging on Twitter that if he'd have sold them 12 hours later, he'd have been $1 million up. But he was like, nah, bro, I ain't selling. So, good on him.
But I've got a question. How are average Joe investors taking the situation in the market overall? They selling their assets or maybe taking an advantage from it?
There's a report we've got from CoinShares. Crypto funds unexpectedly received a capital influx of $40 million. So there is actually money flowing in at the moment, believe it or not. Analysts are believing that extraordinary growth is caused by the fall in digital asset prices, investors deciding to take advantage of the situation and buy large amounts. So people stacking sats, basically.
That's good, still.
Hopefully.
But on that note then, let's go and ask the ever watchful and probably sleep deprived Ed what he thinks of what's going on.
What's happening?
I'm
not sure what's happening with the market.
Sorry, no time for intros today, Ed. I want your brain, buddy.
Oh no. Yeah, no, it's Certainly one of those sort of events that happens too routinely with Luna, unfortunately. And we saw last May that the price of Luna dropped down to about $4.60. The DPEG on UST wasn't as severe, but we did see vulnerabilities about a year ago. And of course, changes were made, and the number of institutions, a number of sort of players in the overall ecosystem with DeFi and Cosmwasm and all these Cosmo sort of integrations in it. Terra had a lot of potential, and there was a lot of excitement around it. Now,
I don't think there were many people out there saw this coming. I'll be honest. I see a few people claiming they did, but
no, I mean, it's one of those things where you see people claiming that they did.
Mystic Meg.
Alongside the other 1,000 things. It's sort of like, Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff has called nine of the last 2 market corrections.
Yeah. Out of 14,000 tweets.
Where the hell is Bono in all of this? I mean, are we going to get a quilt? Maybe a ribbon? What do we get out of all of this?
He's working with your favourite project, the Bored Apes, isn't he? In the background, I know their manager. I mean, just random tangent for you, but yeah, not even a joke.
Certainly Bored Apes, my favorite.
Yeah, Bored Ape, giant
NFT collector.
There's got to be a link there somewhere, but I won't make that insinuation.
No, and also, this brought to light, there is going to be regulation coming down the pipe. You saw Janet Yellen yesterday make a big, to do about it in front of the Senate. And at the heart of it, it does put things into perspective. And while you certainly don't want to make light of people losing money, just think about the fact that, if you're in crypto, you've heard, or you've said, how can you trust a government that basically their money is only holding value because they have the ability to tax? Well, Luna held value because some guy in Korea buying Bitcoin.
I mean, everything stacked on something. Yeah, of course.
So, but with that being said, if you look at the price action just in the last day and how the UST has come back. I mean, at one point, I believe even dropped below 20 cents in the middle of the night here in the US.
The kind of bad joke I had was at least Bitcoin hit new all-time highs in UST yesterday, but I mean, it's a cheap shot.
It hit
and I'm not here
100,000 UST.
Yeah, I'm not hitting cheap shots today. So again,
No,
I have full sympathy for what's happened out there. It could happen to any of us in theory.
And look, I've been in crypto for 10 years. I've been on the wrong side of this.
Only 10 years?
More times
Only 10?
than I would have liked. Trust me, I don't even want to look at my Bitcoin price when I initially bought. I'll become,
I'd have to chop off my almond stuff in 3 rings.
But, going back to what I was mentioning before, when you look at just the price coming back, right now there's roughly about 5 to 6 million Luna that are being issued every minute, while roughly there's about 5x that amount that's being burned or minted for UST. So basically, if you did the math, if you wanted to fill the $10 billion of what you'd call bad UST debt, and you look at just the flow in their order book, which is about $40 million an hour, it's going to take about 3 days for this peg to really get back to where it needs to be, assuming a price of $2.50 for Luna. Yeah, this is not of any concern to most institutions. Their perspective generally is much, much longer term. And that's why, even hearsay, the institutions that may have been involved in some shorting, if they crush the market, I don't want to get sued.
This is a gossip show, Ed. Don't worry. We're like the Heat magazine of the crypto world.
Yeah, well, these guys are very well funded, and they will sue. So I'm not messing around here. But if you look at sort of even from their side, the table, they made roughly, I saw some calculations, about $750 million on this short between, BTC and UST. If they crush the market, who cares for them? Because it'll come back, in 6, 12, 18 months. You're now inviting pros into this market who are playing a blood sport.
Yeah.
And you just saw a taste of what they can do. And really they could have been a lot worse. Truly, they could have started shorting heavily on Luna and even taken this even further down, believe it or not. So I would say this, there's a lot of volatility in the market. If you could stay in some type of position that you have safety, like a USDC, like a Tether, or just simply, just holding it in some type of delta neutral strategy. You take, you do Everscale and you try to delta neutral that with, shorting Bitcoin, because if Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. And basically using sort of a, I don't want to say no risk, but very, very low risk type of strategy in this situation.
Yeah, of course. Low risk is, I think that's the key word to close this out on. Ed, thank you very much, sir. I feel at least 5 IQ points smarter after that. Yes, indeed. Right, so I'm going to lead with this story. I'm outraged, Anastasia. New EU Commission is expected to publish the draft law on chat control tomorrow. Basically, lawmakers are seeking AI-based checks of all messages and all content between persons, peer-to-peer. Critics say this is an attack on digital privacy. What the fuck? I mean, by critic, do they mean every fucking body? Jesus.
Yeah, German CAS Computer Club protests against the planned chat control law in an open letter. It says it is a fundamentally misguided technology and an unprecedented... How to pronounce this word?
An unprecedented surveillance tool. I think, to be fair,
exactly.
I typed it wrong, so it's not your fault. Yeah, you probably need me to spell it right to be able to read it off the sign. But I mean, no, obviously, folks, this isn't directly cryptocurrency related, but Jesus Christ, I talk about individual liberties.
I protest against as well.
Yeah, the things that we're here to kind of help change in the world now that we're all here in it for the tech. And speaking of in it for the tech, could you tell that was an improvised segue that time? Oh my golly gosh. Someone did gone and decentralized GitHub, or decentralized Gits to be more technical. Can you guess who?
Who?
Our friend
Who's that?
Colleagues over at EverX, a sub-team within the team.
Oh gosh. Really? Oh gosh.
Gosh.
The new chain will issue 1 trillion tokens with no intrinsic value or transferability to companies and entities wishing to use the chain, with the Everscale technology powering everything behind the scenes.
Okay, so again, just to prove we're not filtered by EverX here, there are some people in the Everscale community who are scratching their heads and a little bit baffled as to why there's a need for a second chain. Essentially, I believe there are many, many, many reasons which I'm not clever enough to explain here and now in 30 seconds, but there is going to be an AMA session all about it. Next week on Wednesday, which I know our friend Mitja is very, very keen to reveal all the details about. So, okay, watch this space on that.
Airdrops.
Ooh.
Airdrops. You remember, guys, that I promised to start looking at ways to get some free coins? So, well, here we go. For those who use Telegram, I found an airdrop bot, CryptoXX Pro. CXX, 10K participants, few tasks to do, but please do your own research and don't get wrecked, please.
Please don't get wrecked, yeah. I mean, I don't believe you've obviously gone through the full process yet yourself, have you? So again, we're walking through this with Anastasia, she's going to let us know how you get on, aren't you? Let's move to what's happening literally right this second, just to have a little look. Stable coin dominance is growing, says a brand new article about 3 minutes ago. The fear index is off the fucking charts. That's unsurprising. When there's blood on the streets, though, is an old saying, I believe. Bitcoin sell-off is actually providing a boost to miner revenues. So again, swings and roundabouts kind of thing. What's good for one is bad for another, and vice versa. New York Times says Bitcoin is increasingly acting like just another tech stock. Well, go fucking learn what Bitcoin is, the New York Times plonkers. Nothing going on. Everyone's complaining about prices, and the rest of it looks like bad PR for now. Obviously, Terra Luna down 2,000% in 24 hours. Oh gosh, if you've been holding, honestly, like I'm not going to make any bad jokes. So. It's an awful situation, so hopefully things will start to turn around there. I think that's a good note to gives an outro, Anastasia, please.
Thank you very much, Ben. Thank you very much, everyone who listened to us. Please remember, as happy and we know it, you really want to show it as we are. We're not financial advisors, but if you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and like the video because, well, come on. What the hell else do you want from us?
Can you tell I changed that honour at the last minute there? Bye, everyone. Have a great weekend.
Bye.
See you on Friday.
Thank
And don't
you.
get wrecked.
Bye.
Don't get wrecked.